Hey guys, good afternoon. It's September 1st, and this is Kyle, aka Vulcan Wolverine. I just wanted to turn the video camera on because I'm getting a lot of vehicular stalking, and usually they don't stop. I have another video that I have to upload that's like an hour long, so I'm not quite sure how long I'll have on this video on my phone. But I'm just gonna kind of, just as long as I can talk and get vehicular stalking. Go ahead and do that. I was accosted at an ATM today. Like I went to the bank, and they really hurt me. Like my upper spine. Like I woke up, and it's like they kind of moved, to my upper back between my shoulders, and it was like really sore. Like I've been working out. Like my muscles have been heated up. And they're also, hitting my head. They never don't hit me in the head. Now they always have a beam, at least one ELF beam, dedicated to my skull. So it's heavy. It's a heavy military assassination, but hidden. They're attacking me while asleep. V2K, remote neural monitoring, constantly traumatizing my body, and then the remote neural monitoring just works better because it changes those neural pathways, so that they can shoot those frequencies, get phrases and images in. So it's really tough. It's kind of tough going. I talked to my mom today when I woke up, and she was like, I need some favors from you for work, and she's paying me, and I work for the charity, so it's important. There's a one-light car behind me, right behind me. Sorry, it's kind of shaky. My hands are shaky, and I have it on the charger. But there's a one-light car following me. There's a one-light truck on the other side right there. I'm gonna keep filming this car and see if it keeps following me. My hands are shaky because they're hurting, and there's another one-light truck right there. I mean, I can just sit here all day. One light cars, one light car. I could just get it. There's no probability that this could happen to somebody who's just driving normally, so I want non-TIs to really take that into account. There's no way that somebody would just drive out and see a bunch of people who had broken headlights like this, and somebody following them at the same time with one headlight. So I want non-TIs to really look at this evidence. It was really tough this morning because, look, let's get them when they come by. Try and get them when they come by. They're in my rear view, so this is really good evidence. I had no idea that they would just be coming by me. Hey man, he's looking at me really creepy, just a real creepy look, like he's got a right to hurt me, to harass me, because, well, let me go through my morning. So I woke up really late, because last night I was on some conference calls, pretty late, and my mom was asking me about work. She needed a couple of things, which is cool. I work for the charity and stuff. Good. We're coming to a light, so I'm just gonna hold my camera to the side and get this guy while I'm talking. But I was talking to her, and she told me all this stuff to do for work, and that's cool, totally. Just really want to get his face on camera. This is the kind of assholes that we're dealing with here. They're really just stupid, and they want power over people. They're not trying to do anything good in society. But like I was talking to my mom, and she was just like, so any good news? And I'm like, no, because I know at this point she doesn't want to hear about it. She can't do anything about it. She's trying to juggle a lot of stuff in her life. So I'm like, no, nothing's going on, just hanging out. And I mean, I feel like I'm dying. Like there's so much pressure on my spine, in my head, and my defenses actually work, which is the sad thing. It's just such heavy, like he's amped up the RF frequencies so much, and amp is the right word. You want to say, because they increase the amplitude. They're not changing the frequency, they're changing the amplitude of the frequency, and that's why people say amp stuff up. But I was talking to her, and she's like, oh, so nothing's going on, so anything I can help you with? And like I had to choke in tears because she's my mom and I'm dying, and I want it to just be like, they're killing me, Mom. Like, and there are people when I go out driving around me, and I just, like, I didn't let her know, and I was just like, no, everything's good, you know, because at this point, it's just not going to help to keep complaining to her. It's very sad because she's my mom, like, I'm being murdered, and I can't tell her, like, it's so secretive and in the shadows. So it was really just a horrible experience, you know, while these people, then on the remote neural monitoring, they did a phrase with mommy in it, oh mommy, or something like that. It was like, I need my mommy. So they made fun of me in the moment, you know, that I was choking back tears because I couldn't tell my mom what was going on. And she knows what's going on, she believes me, but she can't do anything about it. My phone's getting really hot, guys. There's a one-light car, so it might go out. I'm just going to keep talking until it does. They've heated up my phone like twice this morning to just shut it down. And here's a one-light car coming up right here. Look at the frequency of the one-light cars coming. There's just no way there's probability for this. It doesn't exist. So that was a really bad experience to start my morning out. Like a really traumatic experience. Then I just go to the ATM to check my account, you know, and, you know, I was check my balance, and I was gonna maybe get some money out or something like that. My phone's really heating up, so it's probably gonna go out. But a plumber pulled up behind me. He wasn't going through the ATM because his plumber truck could not fit through there. He got out of the car and was standing behind my car, and I was like getting my stuff together. And he starts, and he has like some camouflage glasses on and stuff like that. You know, he like starts like waving me along, and I'm like, hey, I'm still at the ATM, because, you know, I was getting my stuff together and stuff like that. And he was like, I'm waiting on you. And it was like, I felt like we were in New York or something, you know, waiting on you, buddy. And I like kind of stuck my head out of the window, and I was like, all right, I'm hurrying up. Like, I'm using the ATM. And he goes, you're just fucking around over there. And he comes up to the ATM while my car is still there, to use it. And I was like, hey, I was still kind of using the ATM, and he didn't even have a car. He was walking up to an ATM where people pull their cars through. And I was like, dude, you need to get your head checked. And he was like, you said something, and I go, you're not a very good person. And he goes, oh, and you are? Because he said it like, oh, and you are, like he was a gang stalker. Like, he was a gang stalker. They're hurting me very bad, covertly, and then they sent this guy, and it was an aggressive situation. Like, if I would have said something really bad to him, he would have probably, you know, he would have done violence to me. And this is a really kind of important thing. And that guy just like swerved through. Got a Trump sticker on there. There's a one-light car right there. I want to get as much before my phone shuts off from heat. But that's the kind of cowardice that we're dealing with, in the light change right when I'm coming up to it. Just every light change right when I come up to it. And I talked to another young lady last night on a conference call, who said that they changed lights on her. You know, I'm not sure if at his remote station, they've given him access to street lights, but he does it in, you know, heavy traffic, and he'll do it just whenever. I think it's to to intimidate and to give you a feeling of, you know, stopping, like they're stopping you from going, to condition that, kind of caging you in. And I'm sorry about, like, my hand is shaking, because they've hurt my back, my upper back, and my head really bad. So I do have shaky hands. My hands are very shaky. But this guy, you know, he was aggressive. I mean, and it's like the way that they're hurting me, they're getting confident that they can do situations like that, and that I will look bad, because, like, they haven't done stuff like that up until now. You know, because I would have just ran circles around him. I would have said something that really made him look like crap. But they can get away with it now because I'm hurting so bad. They're hurting my head and my spine. So I just look like an anxious guy. The best thing I could come up with is you're not a good person, which is probably good. You know, even in that worst time, I was pretty mild. So it shows me something kind of good about myself. But that was kind of how my morning started out, with aggression and, you know, people, they had been shooting me all night in the back, and then they keep dedicated electromagnetic frequencies like around my head. So it's a very satanic, it's like a satanic ritual all the time. That's how I see it. You know, now on the V2K, like, I'll wake up and they're like, they're still doing a dialogue where they're trying to convince his good wife, who wants to stop. She never goes along with it. She's like, he didn't do anything. Get away from him. Get away from him. And then they all, like, this evil lady will say, he's not a good person. We have to do this. He's evil. We have to do this. You know, while they're cooking me and while my parents are being lied to and people are acting aggressively, you know, with this vehicular stalking and street theater. It does show me something good and bad. There are people out there who will never go along with this, no matter how much it's kind of drilled in there. Just good people by nature. She's one of them. I don't know if it's looping on the V2K now, but it is definitely stuff she has said. And it's her nature to be good and to want to help people. And she knows the truth. She's watched it all. You know, I think she still loves her husband, which is, it's awful. It's an awful situation that she's in, and that the dialogue, you know, if it is different now, you know, I don't know it, because it's a looping dialogue, but it seems like a lot of it is really going on. But it kind of showed that's good. There are a lot of people who will never go along with this. They just don't care. They just want to help people. But it also makes me think that there are people opposite of that. You know, there are people who can never be good. And I don't know, y'all comment on that. And I know that's kind of I guess that's a philosophical thing that we really don't need to get into. We just need to stop people who are hurting us no matter why they're doing it. But it really does make me think. I see a lot of people who are so good and they can never be anything else. Myself, I feel like, you know, this much abuse and torture over like 7 to 10 years, like not even really knowing when the torture started, you know, I kind of have an excuse to be an asshole. And, you know, I'm just making a point. I'm not saying I am going to become an asshole. And I am sometimes. Sometimes they get me very agitated, where it's like I'm not very congenial when I go out. I just try and stick to myself, change light right in front of me, right when I'm coming up. But, you know, it would give me an excuse, you know, to do something bad. And I'm not going to do that. But I've learned about myself, I can't. Like, I can't even really, like this guy, I want to see justice for my attackers. Like, I want them to go to jail. I want them to get justice. But, like, if I even had a chance to do this to him, you know, I wouldn't. I just wouldn't waste my time. Even doing this thing. I'd maybe want to remote neural monitor him, to show his wife that he's really evil, that he's a liar, and what he has in his head is just a total opposite of what he's trying to present himself as while he does this in the shadows. I'd maybe want to do that for like a week, just to, you know, see what he really is, because he's really evil. But you know, I'd never use this stuff on my enemies. I don't want to have enemies. That's my whole thing is I don't want to have it. I don't want to have anybody going against me or me going against them, because my philosophy in life is you gotta have a win-win situation. Like in business, you give somebody a good product, they give you money, everybody walks away happy. In society, you figure out things that help everybody. With this gang stalking thing and this directed energy program, families have to lose big time. For this to succeed and for money to be made, families have to lose really bad. For this guy to win, I have to lose very bad. My family has to lose very bad. It's not good business. It's not being a good person. It's not smart. because there are win-win situations in life that you can create. And I think I've gone